God revealed himself to St. John of Damascus, the venerable theologian and hymnographer in the 8th century. John was the chief minister of Caliph Abdul Malik and later a monk in the monastery of St. Sava the Sanctified. Because of his ardent defense of the veneration of icons during the reign of the iconoclastic Emperor Leo the Assyrian, John was maligned by the emperor to the caliph, who cut off his right hand. John fell down in prayer before the icon of the Most Holy Theotokos, and his hand was rejoined and miraculously healed. Seeing this miracle, the caliph repented, but John no longer desired to remain with him as a nobleman. Instead, he withdrew to a monastery where from the beginning he was a model to the monks in humility, obedience, and all the prescribed rules of monastic asceticism. John composed the funeral hymns and compiled the Octokos, the Book of 8 Tones, the Irmologion, the Menologion, and the Paschal Canon, and he wrote many theological works of inspiration and profundity. A great monk and hymnographer, theologian and soldier for the truth of Christ, the Damascene is numbered among the great fathers of the Church. He entered peacefully into rest in about the year 776 at the age 104. The saints exerted great effort to subdue pride and selfishness in themselves and to accustom themselves to complete obedience and devotion, be it to their superiors when they had them or to God himself. The monastery of St. Sava the Sanctified was distinguished by exceptional discipline, order, and unmurmuring obedience. When St. John Damascene entered this monastery, not one of the eminent spiritual fathers would venture to take such a famous nobleman and writer as his novice. Then the abbot handed him over to a simple but strict elder. The elder ordered John not to do anything without his knowledge or approval. In the meantime, it happened that a monk died who had a brother in the same monastery. The monk was in unspeakable grief over the death of his brother. For the sake of comforting the inconsolable brother, John wrote stikira for the departed monk, famous hymns that the Church uses even today at the funeral service. After composing them, John began to chant the hymns. When the elder heard the chanting, he became enraged and drove John away. Some of the brethren, hearing of John's banishment, dared to go to the elder to beg him to forgive John and receive him back, but the elder remained unwavering. John wept bitterly and lamented because he had transgressed his elder's command. Once again the brethren on John's behalf begged the elder to impose a penance on him and after that forgive him. The elder then imposed the following penance upon his disciple: to clean and wash all the lavatories of every cell in the monastery with his own hands, if he desired forgiveness. The sorrowful brethren reported this to John, thinking that he would leave the monastery rather than do this, but when John heard the elder's message, he rejoiced greatly and with much joy carried out the elder's command. Upon seeing this, the elder wept, embraced John, and said through his tears, "Oh, what a sufferer for Christ have I given birth to! Oh, what a true son of holy obedience this man is!" God revealed himself to the holy hymnographer, the venerable Cosmas of Maiuma, in the 8th century. He was born in Jerusalem. He was a friend of St. John of Damascus, whose parents took him in as an orphan and raised him. As a monk, he assisted John in compiling the Octokos, and he himself composed many canons to the saints. His canons on Lazarus Saturday, Palm Sunday, and Passion Week are particularly distinguished by their beauty and profundity. He was bishop of Maiuma, near the Palestinian Gaza. He outlived St. John Damascus and died in deep old age. Inspired by God, these two brothers arranged and compiled much of the Octokos, the 8-week cycle of 8 tones, and Manaean, the yearly cycle of 12 months, as it is sung today.